we're just going to keep broadcasting more segments. So anyway, we were talking about the 80s.
The 80s.
Now, I love the music out of the 80s. Jay's kind of like, some of it's okay. But the guitar riffs and the singing and it was good, man. It had some soul in it. The music of today sounds like everybody's on Quaaludes.
Oh, the music of today, these music producers, it's all image. It's no
Yeah.
talent makes it every now and then. You get somebody like, I don't know, like Alicia Keys or somebody who can sing and songwrite and plays the piano well. Stuff like that. And I can't think of very many acts nowadays. But they're always going for the homosexuals.
Oh yeah, or the Nemo, or
the emo, the
emo
crowd.
or
look at these guys,
or the Marilyn Manson types that could suck themselves off or whatever. That's what they do.
I don't know much about that, Dave, but
I know that was a little harsh, but hey, it's the truth.
So really, if you can take a crap, and record and somehow put it to sound.
Yeah.
You can make it in the music business. You just have to be. You either have to be a fag or you have to be if you're a communist.
Yeah, you'll definitely make it.
You have to definitely hate Christians.
Yeah.
You have to hate God. You have to be in total rebellion against everything. You have to even be in rebellion against rebellion.
Yeah, I know.
These rebels, they're rebellious against rebellion. They don't even know why they're so angry.
Yeah.
They're so angry. And we got the great generation of little queers coming up. I've seen a lot.
Self-entitled little snot-nosed.
I see a lot of these teenage boys, and they're like walking around dressed like women.
Yeah, and they're the biggest snot-nosed little self-entitled little pricks on this. I cannot believe, and
they've got earrings and they've got lipstick and they're wearing black makeup around their eyes and they look like they look like Tammy Baker on a bad makeup trip or something. But
and did you see these guys, some of these new emo kids where the whole 80s hairstyle is coming back, like the big hair from the 80s?
But they're not wearing the 80s clothes.
No, they're wearing the little fag pants with their little suspenders and crap. They look like a bunch of circus clowns.
Leather jackets with a bunch of antichrist messages and
and their hair is like orange and blue, and it's like
every knee will bow, and you can either bow now or you can bow later.
Yeah.
When the day comes.
Yeah.
I'll be so sad that we can't do a radio show that day.
Yeah.
Saying, "Ha! You schmucks."
Well, actually, God will probably have the biggest radio show ever that day. Everybody's going to know he's here. And there's no rock that you vermin can crawl underneath to get away from it either.
But they'll try.
Oh, yeah, they'll try. They'll try to hide.
Vermin scurry.
Oh, yeah, when the light comes
They'll
out.
Be scurrying.
It's just like Billy the Exterminator. I love that show. I mean, that's one of the decent shows.
He's kind of an 80s.
Yeah, he is. He's kind of an 80s
he's into
throwback.
That emo, but he's kind of the newer.
He's kind of a nuanced kind of 80s rocker.
Yeah, and I think he's kind of a politically correct hack myself.
Yeah. But his show is entertaining nonetheless.
Yeah, entertaining. See, that goes back to what we were saying about entertainment.
Yeah.
And people sitting like mindless zombies in front of their little altar in their living rooms.
Yeah, or in their bedrooms.
You don't like that I call it an altar? Then get it out of your house, okay?
Yeah, just turn it off.
If you don't like the fact that you have an altar celebrating your own debauchery in your living room, then go to hell.
Wow. Man.
Because that's where you're going to be headed.
Exactly. I mean, and just judging from the crap.
Okay, pornography is $1 billion a year business in this country.
Yeah.
What does that tell you?
That tells you there's a lot of sex.
There's a lot of exercised wrists in this country.
Yeah.
And depraved minds.
Yes. And you know what else is a big
And then
billion?
at the same time you got women going nuts.
Yeah.
Their this is the most vain generation.
Yeah.
Probably in the history of history.
Yeah, it's like you got women that look perfectly
and the
good.
social media.
Yeah.
Oh, that's done wonders for it. I know we're on it right now with YouTube.
Yeah, but
or
we're
MyTube, whatever.
We're using it as a good platform, though, right? I mean,
well, there's good uses for everything.
Yeah.
Except for some things there's not good uses for, like Oprah.
Yeah, well,
I can't think of one useful thing that I'm sure she's done some charitable contributions. And
mainly
I'm sure
to Obama's administration.
Yeah, and the photographers were there so that you can get your glory.
Yeah.
Get your glory now.
Yeah.
While you can get it.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to find it in the lake of fire.
No, you won't. You're going to it's going to...
Happy Friday.
Oh, man. Yeah, we're on a roll today. But do you remember Oprah when she had that hack? Who was that hack? That bald hack.
We'll just say it was Bobby Brown. Whatever.
No. Dr. Phil McGraw. You want to talk about mindless, stupid entertainment. That's it right there. It's like a cross between watching Jerry Springer and a guy with a PhD in psychology. It is just insane. He has these drug-addled sex perverts on the show. And then he go,
Dr. Phil, get, I killed her. And then they got Dr. Phil's on there, and he's like, look at my mustache. I waxed my head. That's great.
But it's like, that's what people are finding entertaining. And I've seen it just like spiral almost out of control. Like, what were we talking about last week? The Super Bowl commercials, right? Remember I told you guys about the one where the guy, the husband, the groom is, looking like he's jerking off, and then he squirts a whole bag of Skittles all over his new wife's face. Did you see that one? I'm sure you did. It's all over YouTube. Go look at that one. That shows you how far in the gutter we are. And then Madonna putting on that crazy halftime show with the Illuminati vermin.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, I don't think
I actually switched over while I was watching the Super Bowl. We had it on, and then when halftime came, I switched over to the Puppy Bowl.
The Puppy Bowl
on the Animal Planet. Yeah, my kids love the Puppy Bowl.
Well, you see, that's what you call wholesome entertainment, right?
Nothing better than a bunch of puppies running around crapping on AstroTurf.
Right.
You gotta love it. And they had some kitties in there too. I think they were in the blimp or whatever, and like a hamster for a referee. I don't even something like that.
Yeah.
Although they had a guy referee and the hamster was in there doing something.
Actually, there are some shows that I find pretty good, and one is Sons of Guns. I like that show. I like Doomsday Preppers, even though that Nat Geo is kind of a numpty channel because they distort all the facts.
Yeah.
I mean, they sit there and go, well, the odds of the economy collapsing are like 1 in 10 billion.
Yeah. Actually, they're 1 in 2, you moron. Either they do or they don't.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no odds. This isn't Vegas.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I saw? I saw a commercial the other day.
Yeah.
That, basically, it was a Vegas commercial.
Oh, yeah?
And it's got this group of women, and they're in various places entertaining themselves. Sauna, exercise place, the movies, whatever, restaurant.
Yeah.
Social gathering. Shows them in like 4 or 5 different things. And this other lady comes up and is like, hey, guys, how's it going? Like, she's friends with them. Well, everybody wants to ignore her.
Right.
So every time she shows up, it's like the party stops when she shows up.
Right.
And then they bring on this, there are consequences for not, it's one of those what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you keep on thinking that, Vegas, because I've been to Vegas.
Every
time I've gone to Vegas, I've wanted to leave instantly because there's a spirit that looms over that city. And the spirit is kind of a spirit of impending doom.
Yes. And especially since you idiots live above one of the largest nuclear testing facilities in North America.
It almost seems like you're actually in Sodom or Gomorrah, like a modern version of Sodom.
Yeah.
When you go to that town. The landscape is pretty much pretty similar to the landscape out there in Iraq, because you're out there in the desert.
Yeah.
There's no trees out there. There's cactuses
and palm trees
and little Gila monsters running around all over the place.
and then the vermin in the gutter is just unrelenting out there. I mean, you can't go
There's an aura about the city that just says, the day is going to come, probably not too far off, when you just don't want to be here.
No, my guess is, if I was a terrorist, which I'm not, but an Islamic fundamentalist, that would be a target.
Oh,
I mean,
everything's a target to the Islamofascists.
Yeah, Islamofascists.
They will target. Yeah. They'll target shopping malls. They'll target.
They'll target a puppy daycare center because they're just sick bastards.
They've targeted schools in other countries. They've targeted rail stations. Obviously.
Well, let's cover that real quick because that's why Milosevic over there in what was it? Over there in Eastern Europe. That's why he went after those bastards.
The Bosnian
crisis. Yeah. And you know what? We fought on the wrong side of that, folks. I don't think any of you are aware of that.
Yeah, we bombed the piss out of all the Christians out there because they were fighting back against
Islamofascism.
radical Muslim persecution because they didn't agree with them. They decided they were going to start burning their churches down and attacking them in the streets.
Yeah.
And doing all kinds of
murdering
horrendous
kids
things.
And making them eat their livers in front of their grandparents and stuff like that. I mean, if I was Milosevic, I would have made the same call, most likely. I'd say, you know what? Lord's coming back early for these folks. Let's just deal with it.
No, he's not coming back for them. They're just dying.
Yes.
And when he comes back, obviously all things are brought to light.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, it's just one of those. It's one of those deals, man. I mean, I hate to get all gloomy and doomy here on Friday, but wake up! Sorry.
Gloom Friday.
Yes.
It is Friday, the 9th of March, by the way.
Yes. And we're not doing a show that's going to be filled with candy canes and sugar and
little Easter baskets.
Easter bunnies. And
speaking of bunnies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're good in stew, by the way.
Yes, but they're not good on the street corner with cash for gold signs. I mean,
that should be a sign right there that we need to have open season on street vermin.
They had a guy out there on the corner the other day.
Yeah.
In a big Easter bunny costume, waving his little "We Buy Gold" thing.
Yeah.
He makes minimum wage.
It's probably on medical marijuana.
Oh, you've got to be to put on something like that. Or you've got to be stoned to dress up like an Easter bunny. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and stand there on the corner with a little sign that says, "Hey, look at me, I'm a schmuck."
Look at me, I'm a schmuck. Love me for my diversity. That's diversity. Love everything, even if they're just total pieces of crap.
Yeah, exactly.
You're supposed to love that.
Yeah, we're supposed to be, and that's...
They can say whatever they want, do whatever they want of this certain agenda.
Yeah, but
this Marxist...
Yeah.
This synagogue of Satan.
Yes. Agenda. And then if you sit there and you actually preach the word of God, or you talk about morality, or you talk about doing the right thing, then you're persecuted. You're insane. You're crazy. You're a kook, a crackpot.
Yeah. Why would you want to?
You're a racist.
Why would you want to do the right thing?
Yeah.
Everybody's kind of adapted this. It's cool to be a fool attitude.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys could keep wearing your little.
Better to be a dumbass than a.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, I see a whole generation of them coming up,
Well,
it's like, it's like me and Jay's generation, I think we're the last hope this country really has to wake people up. After that,
I don't see it happening. No, there's other hopes.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It's going to take some discipline.
Oh, yes, and serious repentance. I mean, not just like, oh, I'm sorry, God, I won't do it again, and you go and do it again. It means you turn away from what the hell you're doing and just stop. That's what